Greetings everyone, and thanks for joining us on tonight's Paranormal Pit Stop, which just so happens to land us at a pentagonal bastion fort set off the corner of Darling and Bouwtenkant streets in Cape Town, South Africa, that holds the title of being the oldest standing structure in the whole of the region. Locally referred to as the Cape Town Castle, or more simply, the Castle. Are you ready to brave the ghosts of the Castle of Good Hope? Historically, the Dutch East India Company would settle off the shores of Table Bay in 1652 in order to establish a base for ships en route from Europe to East Asia, as well as to maintain a monopoly in the spice trade. An early fort was constructed hastily from timber and clay. However, this primitive defense would be replaced between 1666 and 1679 by our current structure. But unfortunately, work on this newer castle was plagued by frequent interruptions and conflicts, resulting from the DEIC's reluctance to dump more money into the project. In 1679, the site's 5 bastions were named after the main titles of William III of Orange-Nassau, with Leerdam to the west, and with Buren, Katzenelenbogen, Nassau, and Orange arranged in clockwise order from it. In 1682, the gated entryway would replace an old entrance that had faced the sea. In 1684, a bell tower was installed over top this entry, and was utilized to mark the time, warn of impending danger, or to gather everyone near for announcements. And the original bell installed, which was cast in Amsterdam in 1697, boasts the title of being the oldest in all of South Africa, weighing in at just over 300 kilograms. The castle would serve as a seat of government for the DEIC until 1795, when the colony was occupied by British forces. Through the first half of the 19th century, it would act as residence to the governor of the Cape, and during the Second Boer War from 1899 to 1902, part of the defense was used as a prison whose former cells remain viewable into the present. The castle would be declared a historical monument in 1936, and would earn the title of being the first protected site in South Africa, and through the 1980s, a slew of renovations and reconstructions solidified its place as the best preserved example of a DEIC fort in the world. For a time, the Castle of Good Hope acted as headquarters to the South African Army in the Western Cape, and as a result now hosts the Castle Military Museum and ceremonial facilities for the traditional Cape regiments, and additionally acts as a home base to the Cape Town Highlanders Regiment, a mechanized infantry unit. Today, the castle remains open to guided tours, with the key ceremony occurring at 10 a.m. every weekday and the change of guards at 12 o'clock. Over its exceedingly lengthy existence, a number of tales of associated supernatural activity have surfaced on site, with officials and visitors reporting disembodied voices, footsteps heard from empty rooms, screaming that emanates from thin air, and the sounds of whips, chains, and cries for help heard seeping from the old dungeon. Even firm skeptics have described extreme cold spots, a heavy presence, orbs and strange mists in photography, and the constant feeling of being watched or followed. And the bell tower, which was walled off following an incident in which a soldier hanged himself with the rope, has been noted ringing on its own from time to time. Also reported across castle grounds are doors that open and close on their own, objects that move by themselves, locked displays found ajar, and instances of lights flicking off spontaneously, leaving all present in darkness. And a spectral black dog has been known to stalk and even approach select living, before fading into nothingness. The ghost of Lady Anne Barnard, who resided within the castle through the late 18th century as its first lady, has been encountered roaming about, appearing to entertain dignitaries, and a number of apparitions in clothing and military garb spanning centuries, as well as the entities of several indigenous African leaders and chiefs who were imprisoned within the fort, have been spied roaming about. One popular tale tells of Governor Peter Gibsert van Noot, a firm leader who sentenced several soldiers to death by hanging. One of these 7 is said to have cursed the governor, who surprisingly dropped dead of a heart attack at his desk later that very day. Van Noot's spirit has been sighted wandering the grounds, a somber look upon his face. Lastly, the specter of a very tall man has been sighted walking along or even leaping from the wall, and the mysterious apparition of a woman in gray has been spied wandering the halls, and has also been heard sobbing in the distance. Thanks for tuning in for this paranormal pit stop. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.